Here we go with yet another Hot Toys video. This is the Celtic Predator, the 2.0 version. They released the original one about 6-7 years ago, something like that. Roughly around about when the film came out. I used to have that figure, but I did sell it a little while ago, purely because I love the look of this one. This was much better in every department. A lot of people pronounce him differently. A lot of people pronounce him as Celtic. It is actually Celtic Predator from the Celtic Warriors. I'm not sure why people call it Celtic, but there you go. So I'll give you a head to toe look at this guy, show you what accessories he comes with. I probably won't do any poses with this guy. I've got him in this pose and I don't want to move him about, but I will show you what he looks like without his mask on. So here we go with the head to toe look. Very similar to Scar that was released a few months back. The main differences are the paintwork's a little bit different. Obviously the base is completely different. And the armour does come off on this guy. As you can see, it's slightly come apart there. I will have to push that back together. And the biomask is completely different, as well as a couple of other little accessories. So what does he come with? He comes with 6 different hands. The 2 hands that I've got him with are the sort of aggressively open palmed hands. He comes with 2 of these fisted hands. Now I don't like these hands. I don't like the way the thumb sticks up. I would have preferred it if it was more of a clenched sort of fist. But all the Hot Toys Predators are like this. So he's got 2 of those, left and right. He's also got this hand, which is used for gripping the spear, and his knife, which I'll show you a little bit later as we move around the figure. And finally, this hand, which is used mainly for gripping the Shuriken. Again, I'll show you that in a little while. So that's his hands. He also comes with a separate set of pegs for the hands, just in case they break, because they can do from time to time. He also comes with his Shuriken, exactly the same as Scar Predator, and virtually the same as the ones that were released with the original Predators when they came out a few years back. It's made out of plastic. It would have been nice if it was made out of metal, but I guess if they made it out of metal it would push the price up a lot more. I'll show you down here. He's got his open mandibles and his closed mandibles. Well, they're not really closed, they're more sort of slightly ajar, but you'll see that when I put them on the figure. Comes with 3 sets of blades. You've got the very long blades, which are made out of die-cast metal. Very sharp as well. He's got the smaller blades, which come on the figure from the box. And the ones I've got him with are the slightly longer blades. Do be careful when taking these out, because they are very sharp and you will cut your fingers. He also comes with these gauntlets, not gauntlets, they're blades on his gauntlets. If I remember rightly, Celtic doesn't actually use these, doesn't have them. They're actually used by Chopper. But I think they've just put these on there to make him a little bit different. And same again with the other arm. These were released with the original Predators when they first came out. They did have these blades. And instead of the detonator on his arm, he's got the net launcher. Great detailing on this. The paintwork on this guy's a slightly different, I think, than Scar. I haven't actually stood them side by side, but there's more of a sort of a very faint green tinge to it. You can't quite see it on this camera, but it is a green tinge. And it also comes with 2 different biomasks. The one I've got on here is the battle damage one with the scratches from the alien with the rubber hoses. The original one was released with metal hoses and they did tend to rust, so I think that's why they've gone with the rubber hoses. And he's also got the clean version of his helmet. Both of these have light up features. Now this light up feature on this one isn't working. I don't know if it's because the battery's probably buggered. I have taken the little slip out, so it's not that, so I will have to look into that, but I never show them with the lights on anyway, so it doesn't matter. He also comes with this awesome base. This isn't with the figure, I just added this. It's not accurate because Celtic never killed the grid alien. He did fight him, but he didn't kill him. The grid alien actually killed Celtic. But it's a great looking base, nice paint apps, nice looking skulls on it. I'm glad that Hot Toys are doing this now, more and more than having just the normal standard black stands. For display purposes, if you're going to display a lot of figures in a detail, then obviously you're going to use the black stands because they take up less room. He also comes with his shoulder cannon. Now in the film there was 3 different shoulder cannons for each of the Predators, but Hot Toys didn't jump on that, and they've used exactly the same cannon as they used on Scar. It's fully articulated, about 1, 2, 3 spots, that swivels round, all bends here and swivels as well, and you do have a pump action on the shotgun, on the shoulder cannon as well. Really nice detailing. As I say, with the armour, this bit does come off, so you can show him from that bit in the film where he gets the acid on there and he takes it off before he really gets into the fight with the grid alien, but I'm going to leave it on. He also comes with this blade and the sheath, which you have to put on. It's quite tight in there. Here we go. This is exactly the same as Scar Predator. It's die-cast metal again. The handle is rubber, plasticky rubber, but the actual blade is die-cast metal, and that fits nicely in the sheath. It just slots onto a little hole in his shin. Armour, really nice paint apps on his armour, nice sort of weathered sort of look. And if I spin him round to the back, here's his extendable spear, exactly the same as Scar. Does fully extend, and it's got the little clip on the back for holding it on. That is where the helmet plugs in for the light up feature, and the switch is quite hard to get to, but it's just round in the back there. You can just about see it, that little black blob there. The dreads are rubber, hang down beautifully. Obviously you can't spray them out for posing, but they do fall nicely over the figure. So what I'll do now is I'll pause the video here. When we come back, we'll have him with his closed mandible look. Okay, here we have him with these, they're not closed, they are slightly ajar, which I think is a fantastic looking sculpt on this head. You can see the slight tints of green on the head there. Hopefully it will focus a little bit better in a minute. Again, he's got the green eyes. I'm not sure if the actual Predator did have green eyes in the movie. Well, you wouldn't know with Celtic because he never took his mask off. Another thing I forgot to mention was he does have this bone necklace as well. You have to take his head off and put that on. So that's another accessory. So I'll spin this around so you can have a look at the head, sort of side on as well. Paint does flow nicely from where it joins on to the actual face, so there's no issues there with the paint. With Scar on one side, it didn't quite match up. Well, it didn't on my figure anyway. So check back on my video on him to have a look. Looks really impressive like that. I am toying with the idea of getting another one of these guys so I can show him with the mask on and one with the mask off. I'm sure you agree, absolutely fantastic head sculpt, great paint apps in the mouth, not too red. On the earlier releases of some of their predators, namely the P1 and the Guardian Predator, the inner mouth was too red for my liking. But anyway, I'll pause it here. When we come back, you will see the open mandible look. And here he is with the open mandible look. Again, great paint apps inside. I found that these were very, very tight to get in. If you've got the same problem with your figure, the best thing to do is to put the bottom part in first of the jaw and then push it up and it will clip in. But it was really tight, which is nice because that means they won't fall out if you want to show it like this. Again, paint does flow quite nicely from the joint onto the mandible. And round the other side. Really nice. In my opinion though, I don't think they've quite got the open mandible look right. It's not quite menacing enough. From the film it looks a little bit different. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't look quite right to me. Maybe it's just too straight. It needs to be these need to be sort of bent in a little bit more, but that's just my opinion. Sorry about the shakiness here. I'm leaning on the bottom of the bed, so my arms are shaking. So I'll pause it here. When we come back, he'll have his mask back on, and I'll give you a really good look around the figure and give you my overall thoughts on this guy. Okay, here he is. This does have the same problem as the Scar Predator with the pipes. They're not long enough. In order for him to look the other direction, the pipes need to be longer. I thought they might have rectified it on this figure, but they haven't, because a lot of people did complain about that. Maybe when Chopper comes out, they might do it, and then you can buy some extras for these two guys, Scar and this guy, Celtic. The light feature, say, doesn't work on this helmet, but I'm not too bothered about that, as I never show it. You can, although I haven't done it here, you can hide the wire that comes from the helmet down into the back. You can hide that. Posability wise, a bit stiff. They're not as easy to pose as the original Predators, but I'm not too bothered. I don't really like really extreme poses because it puts too much of a strain on the joints anyway. You do be careful though, if you want to do an extreme pose, be careful of the netting. This is real netting and it could rip. I think Moggy215 did a video on his Scar and he tried to put it in extreme poses, and he did actually rip the netting. You can see it move in there, so it's not actually painted onto the figure, it is real netting. It goes down onto the legs. The hands I found are a bit of a pain in the arse to put on, but persevere with it. All in all, hands down, I know I say this for every Predator that gets released, but this is the best. It's better than Scar. I'm just biased. It's because Celtic was my favourite Predator of all time. A lot of people prefer Wolf. It'll be interesting to see if Hot Toys re-release Wolf. I think they probably will do, to see what he looks like. And hopefully they'll change the body a bit on it, because Wolf is slightly slimmer than these young bloods. So it'll be interesting to see if Hot Toys re-sculpt that completely, because this body on this predator is exactly the same as Scar, but they're supposed to be quite bulky, these guys. And I'm going to stick my neck out and say that this is my favourite figure in my collection at the moment. A lot of you will disagree with that, but it's my personal preference. I am a huge Predator fan. Love the design of these creatures, and this is the best at the moment. Probably when Chopper gets done and released, I'll probably say the same about him. But it's going to take quite a lot to beat this guy, in my opinion. I have got the Elder Predator from Predator 2 on order, the 2.0 version. So I'd be interested to see what he looks like when he comes. Will he be able to knock this guy off top spot? I think for a lot of people he will. But for me, I doubt it. I think I've covered pretty much everything. A couple of little things you might see on him there. He does have the closed Shuriken, as you can see just there. But the armour, this does move. It's not attached, so it moves about. The armour is superbly painted. The figure as a whole is superbly painted. Whereas I gave Scar probably a 9.5 out of 10, this one is going to be a 9.75 out of 10 for me. Stay tuned for a Predator video that I will be doing. I will be doing all my Preds together, and you'll be able to see this guy and Scar up next to each other, and you'll be able to see the differences then. What have I got coming up? I've got 2 figures on the way. I've got the Crow coming, Eric Draven, obviously played by Brandon Lee, and I've also got the War Machine Mark II figure en route as well. So they will be my next 2 new figures that I'll probably be videoing. But as I say, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to do you that Predator video that I've been promising for probably the last month and a half, 2 months nearly. I do say I'm going to do videos, and I take a long time to do them, but I will get round to doing them at some point. Give you another look at this base of the green goo coming out of him as he's had his head chopped off. Why they've done this sort of base for Celtic and didn't do a similar base to this for Scar, I don't know. But I wish that Hot Toys would do another sort of line, which is accessories. Do a special accessory line for certain figures that you can buy extras for, things that you can't get with the figure, just to add a little bit more to them. So they do an accessory line. That would be really cool if they did that. Maybe do some dioramas as well that you can buy to show your figures off in. But until my next video, as always, thanks for watching. And if you're thinking of getting this figure, or you've got this figure on order, you will not be disappointed. It is the best. Definitely. If people don't like Predators, who, well, basically, I don't think there's anybody out there who doesn't like Predators. But if you're thinking of getting one Predator, I said this on the last video, but I'm saying it on this video as well. I sound like a broken record, but this is the one to get, without a shadow of a doubt. So I'll shut up now, and see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.